You won't believe the courtroom chaos in these unbelievable cases. In the first case, a man facing trespassing charges completely refuses to recognize the judge's authority. He keeps asking over and over if the judge took an oath of office, acting like the laws just don't apply to him. Not only that, he's recording the entire courtroom on his GoPro, like it's some kind of personal reality show. His behavior escalates so much that the judge has no choice but to escort him out of the courtroom. Yet he keeps insisting on his strange arguments until the very last moment. Then, in the second case, things get even crazier. Samuel R. Purdue refuses to go by his own name and demands to be called Samir Siraj Maro Bey. He claims he isn't really driving, but just traveling on his own land, as if that somehow makes him immune to the law. The judge doesn't play around, muting him when his arguments get completely nonsensical, and warns him that if he keeps driving without a valid license, he could face serious jail time. Both cases are wild examples of how some people push the limits of the legal system with strange, confusing arguments. From GoPros in the courtroom to insisting the law doesn't apply, these sovereign citizen tactics create chaos at every step. But the judges handle it with patience, authority, and a firm reminder that the law applies to everyone. You have to see it to believe it. These courtroom moments are shocking, funny, and unbelievable all at once. No matter how crazy someone acts, the court always finds a way to keep order. If you think you've seen weird courtroom drama before, think again. This takes it to a whole new level.
Good afternoon. Oh, about here? I'm the administrator for that matter. I said I'm the administrator for that matter.
Mr. Key, you're charged with trespassing in the third degree. How do you understand that charge?
Your Honor, you'll never stand over me, so when you say I understand, please elaborate.
Do you understand the charge of trespassing in the third degree?
No man will ever stand over me, sir. So please say it again. I'm sorry.
I'm not doing that again.
Okay.
You are charged with trespassing in the third degree. How do you plead on that charge?
Before I plead, I need to know that I was told that you're a man of God, and I was told that you took an oath of office. Did you take an oath of office?
I am not answering questions. This is an arraignment.
You're not going to answer. You're supposed to be the judge, correct? You're not going to tell me whether you took an oath of office or not.
Have you removed from the courtroom? You can plead on this charge, and what we will do is then set you plead guilty, and we'll go one course. If you plead not guilty, then I'll set your case down for the trial.
You're not going to tell me whether you took an oath to office. You're a judge to this county of Mount Brick. Why can't you tell me if you took an oath of office? It would proceed to say that you did take an oath of office. You're going to remove me, so you're just going to make me leave. You're not going to tell me whether you took an oath of office or not. I'm being removed? Why am I being removed for? I didn't enter a plea. I didn't say anything, sir.
Mr. Keys.
I'm going. I'm going. Why can't you tell me if he's going to take an oth of office? Did you take an oath of office?
It's time to go.
Okay. Hold on. What trial? I didn't take. I didn't take a plea. What are you talking about? How can you make it?
Your verbiage is not helping, and I think your verbiage is a plea of not guilty unless you want to plead guilty.
I said, did you take an oath of office? And you won't respond to me. Why won't you respond to me, sir? Did you not take an oath? Did you not take an oath to defend God, this country, and the children around the world? Really? Seriously, I can't believe this. I'm in Mount Brook Court, and the judge won't tell me whether he took an oath to office. What's this country coming to is what I don't understand. Well, I'm not taking no paper from you. I mean, this country, you did take an oath to office, did you? You did take an oath of office. Huh? You did take an oath of office. Well, I mean, you didn't take an oath of office.
Let's go,
huh?
Mr. Keys, let's go.
Where are we going?
We've got you're being escorted out. We've got a lot of other cases we have to get to. So come
This man did not take an oath of office. The judge here did not take an oath of office. Can't even say he took an oath of office. I mean, this is embarrassing. Embarrassing to the entire country here that we're in court and to make any sense he took an oth of office. Yes, sir.
You need to go.
I'm going. I'm going right now.
Well,
but this is a disgrace to this country. I surely hope that you took an oath of office, didn't you?
Let's go.
Will you not answer my question?
No, I'm not answering any.
So you didn't take an oath of office either to defend the people around the world? Seriously, I cannot believe this. In America right now, we got people, the judge he won't even tell me if he took an oath of office. This man won't even tell me if he took an oath of office. Y'all going into somebody that won't even say he defends the country, that he defends the United States of America, that he doesn't care about the kids. This is crazy. And none of y'all people, none of you care about it. Why am I the only one that cares? Why am I the only one that cares about this? Huh? Nobody cares about this. What is wrong with every one of you? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing in here? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
What did they tell you? I do care about our kids. My daughter is a Birmingham police officer. So.
Did he take an oath of office? Because the policeman wouldn't even tell me he took an oath of office. The judge wouldn't even tell me. He wouldn't even tell me. He would not tell me. I asked him, did he take an oath of office? You know what he said? I don't have to answer that. He told me he didn't have to answer that. He didn't have to answer that. Now, thank you. There's one person that agrees with me. Oh, sir, thank you. So y'all all agree with me. This judge you're going to see right now will not say if he took an oath of office. I cannot believe this. In America, the judge don't even take oaths of offices anymore. This is crazy. I cannot believe I did not enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. I did not do anything because he wouldn't tell me if I took it. He wouldn't take any of my documents. I've got all these affidavits right here. And he calm down, Christopher. I'll be back later.
Driving with a suspended license, second offense, that's a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. You're also charged with speeding. I'm assuming you're going to plead not guilty to both of those?
No, of course not. I'm innocent, and my name is not Mr. Purdue, so I would appreciate if you didn't call me Mr. Purdue.
I'm just going to piss off the judge for you.
All right. Well,
Mr.
Morrow, let me tell you this. Stop. Yeah, you're from some alternate universe where you don't have to obey the laws of
No,
the
you
state.
don't respect the law, sir.
Stop. If you drive again here in St. Joe County, I'm going to set your butt at $10,000.
And also,
I'm going to
lie
set this.
to you. You see this? Are you looking? I was forced to get this license. I don't want it, but as you can see, your officer is a liar.
Well, what's the name on that? Is that Samuel Purdue or Mr. Morrow Bay?
Well, I'm forced to do this. Anything I do with y'all is under threat, duress, and coercion.
So
every time I travel, clearly,
all right, you have
your commercial mercenaries keep pulling me over.
You have a driver's license
because your commercial mercenaries continue to pull me over, and they won't leave me alone.
Well, stop driving. At least stay out.
I don't drive. I travel.
All right, traveling is one thing. Driving is another. You can travel all you want. All right, but let me make this
that's
clear.
What I'm doing, and they won't let me travel. They won't let me travel on my own land. And you're violating the law, and you know it.
Violating the law.
Well, one of us is.
He's definitely violating the law, and anybody who needs to know anything about the law,
slow down.
Talk about it.
Slow down for a minute. That license you held up, is it a valid Michigan driver's license?
Is it a valid Michigan driver's license? Well, I was forced to go to your Secretary of State because you guys won't let me travel on my own land. That's as valid as it is. What's really valid is my nationality that you keep denying. So you're denying me due process, and you know it.
Well, you haven't been convicted of anything yet. I'm just telling you, if you continue to keep driving on some cockamamie
I don't
thing,
drive.
you're You're behind the wheel of a car, give me this BS about traveling versus driving. I'm just telling you right now, you heard it here. If you drive again in St. Joseph County and you get another ticket, I'm going to set a very high bond. You can sit in jail for 28 days until we sort this out. You're presumed to be innocent of the charges that you're charged with, and you've exercised your constitutional right to plead not guilty.
No, I didn't plead not guilty. You said that. I said I'm innocent.
All right, fair enough. We'll set this for a last pre-trial. Are you still at 312 North Sage Street, apartment 302?
North America is my domicile. You can send whatever information you want to that address. That is fine.
All right.
Very smart.
So any judge who does not comply with this oath of office to the Constitution of the United States wars against the Constitution and engages in acts.
All right, I'm going to mute your microphone. I don't want to hear this crazy, nonsensical thing. I'm setting you for a last pretrial. We'll pick a date and I'll send it to you in the mail. I don't expect it'll settle the case. You already have one case set for a jury trial. We'll probably set both of these for a jury trial. I will give you credit. You always log in a timely manner, which I appreciate. I'll give you a new notice. It'll be on a Thursday afternoon. We're going to skip the regular pretrial and just go right to the last pretrial. I expect it to be set for a jury trial. All I'm telling you is stop driving and stop in St. Joseph County. All right, sir, you're good to go.
Courtrooms are supposed to be orderly, serious, and predictable, but sometimes, the most unexpected things happen, and you just can't look away. Today, we are diving into two of the wildest courtroom cases you will ever see, featuring individuals who call themselves sovereign citizens. These are people who refuse to accept the rules, the authority, or even the basic laws everyone else follows, and their courtroom behavior is nothing short of unbelievable. In the first case, a man charged with trespassing arrives in court with one goal: to challenge the entire system. From the moment he steps in, it's clear he's not going to play by any rules. He straps a GoPro to his head and starts recording his appearance as if he's creating a personal documentary. Then, almost immediately, he begins asking the judge over and over again whether the judge took an oath of office, insisting that, because he believes the law doesn't apply to him, nothing the court does can affect him. His voice echoes in the courtroom as he questions every instruction, refuses to respond to basic questions, and challenges the authority of every person around him. Despite repeatedly refusing to enter a plea, the court records a not guilty plea on his behalf and sets a trial date. But he continues, shouting, gesturing, and making it nearly impossible for the proceedings to move forward. The judge maintains calm, but the tension is palpable. At one point, after multiple disruptions, the man is finally escorted out of the courtroom. But even as he leaves, he protests loudly, insisting that the court has no power over him, his arguments growing increasingly bizarre and confusing. His attire, his GoPro, his behavior, it all creates a surreal scene that seems more like a performance than a legal proceeding. Then, the second case takes the chaos to a whole new level. This involves a man named Samuel R. Perdue, though he insists on being called Samir Siraj Marobe. Right from the start, he refuses to acknowledge the charges against him in normal terms. When the court mentions driving on a suspended license, he responds that he isn't driving, but traveling on his own land. He claims that the rules simply don't apply to him because he exists outside of conventional legal definitions. His arguments are confusing, absurd, and completely disconnected from reality, and yet he delivers them with absolute conviction. The judge, maintaining incredible patience, quickly mutates the situation by muting his microphone to stop the endless stream of nonsensical statements. But even with the microphone muted, the courtroom tension is thick. The judge warns him that driving without a valid license is not a trivial matter and explains clearly that continued violations could result in serious jail time. The man doesn't seem fazed. His confidence in his unusual legal reasoning remains unshaken. Throughout both cases, what stands out is not just the audacity of these individuals, but the sheer surrealism of their tactics. The first man uses technology as part of his courtroom strategy, recording everything with a GoPro, as though the presence of a camera somehow changes the law. He refuses to follow basic court procedures, insists on irrelevant arguments, and constantly interrupts the judge. Meanwhile, Samuel R. Perdue takes a philosophical approach to law, redefining terms like driving, and insisting that he exists outside the legal system, creating a kind of alternate reality inside the courtroom. Watching these cases is fascinating because it reveals the clash between extreme personal beliefs and structured legal authority. On one side, you have individuals completely convinced of their own interpretation of freedom, sovereignty, and rights. On the other, you have judges in court, staff trying to enforce the law, maintain order, and ensure that justice is served. Every exchange, every interruption, every argument builds tension, keeps the audience on edge, and shows just how challenging it can be to handle courtroom disruptions of this kind. The first man's behavior is almost theatrical. His constant questioning, refusal to plead, and bizarre courtroom attire make him appear larger than life. Each time the judge attempts to proceed, he creates new interruptions, forcing the court to adapt constantly. He's combative but strangely disciplined in his own chaotic way, repeating his points with intensity and determination. It's a reminder that for some people, courtrooms aren't just legal spaces, they're stages for performance, protest, and personal statements. Meanwhile, Perdue's case adds another layer. His insistence on a new identity, his semantic arguments about traveling, and his refusal to accept conventional authority push the limits of patience and procedural norms. Yet, the judge handles it with a mix of firmness, strategic silencing, and clear communication, showing exactly how the legal system responds when faced with unconventional defendants. The warnings, the explanations, and the clear consequences make it clear that, despite the chaos, the law cannot be ignored. Both cases highlight how sovereignty arguments, personal beliefs, and extreme courtroom behavior collide with reality. The spectacle created by these individuals is compelling, dramatic, and, at times, almost unbelievable. But there's also a clear lesson. No matter how convincing someone may think their arguments are, the law exists to maintain order, and the courts are equipped to handle even the most disruptive and bizarre behavior. From GoPros in the courtroom to philosophical debates about driving and identity, these cases are unforgettable. They keep the audience engaged not just because of the absurdity, but because they reveal a deeper story about conflict, authority, and human behavior in high-pressure legal settings. Watching the interactions unfold, seeing the judge's calm yet firm responses, and witnessing the persistence of the defendants is both educational and mesmerizing. Ultimately, these courtroom stories are a mix of drama, comedy, and tension. They show what happens when individuals push every boundary, when personal belief systems collide with law, and how the legal system navigates situations that seem almost impossible. Every shout, argument, and disruption builds a narrative that keeps viewer glued to the screen, wondering what will happen next, how the judges will respond, and whether common sense will ultimately prevail. In these two extraordinary cases, we see the extremes of human behavior, the unpredictability of courtroom dynamics, and the fascinating clash between personal sovereignty and established law. They're chaotic, dramatic, and completely unforgettable.